Hey all you Slashaholics, welcome to Slash Sisters. I am Slash Sister Jen.
And that makes me Slash Sister Holly, and we want to welcome you back to your favorite channel for horror movie reviews by true horror movie fans.
That's right, y'all. And if it's your first time visiting our channel, welcome. We do all kinds of fun horror stuff here, and you know you don't want to miss out on any of it, so make sure you slash that subscribe button.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I stole your line.
Yeah,
I stole your line. I did it. I'm sorry.
You did it again.
The
great line thief strikes again.
The great line thief. We should keep a tally. Well, here we are again. As you can see, we are back on the Friday the 13th train. Back in the world of Jason Voorhees. Once again, back at Crystal Lake. Only this time...
So they changed the name again?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Because it was Camp Forest Green and City Forest Green and all that other shit in the last one.
And it's always been called Camp Blood. So, I mean, I guess we could just keep calling it Camp Blood instead of Camp Crystal Lake. But yes, it is called Crystal Lake in this film. Go figure. But not only that, we finally get everyone's favorite Jason, or at least my favorite Jason and Hallie's
the vast majority of people's favorite Jason.
Yes, Mr.
And that's not to belittle everybody else who came before.
No, because there's been really, really, really great Jasons ahead of him.
Right.
So, anyways, and great guys that have played him after.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, Mr. Kane motherfucking Hodder.
Yeah. And as we get deeper into this franchise of hockey masks and machetes, we go further into the realm of the metaphysical because now our final girl has telekinetic powers. Do you know why the final girl has telekinetic powers?
Let me think on this.
Do you know why? Let us know in the comments
yeah,
if you know why.
Tell us, because I'm not even gonna guess.
Okay, so before this came to fruition, they were Universal was trying to work with New Line to bring us a crossover that was going to have Jason and Freddy.
Oh.
Jason and Freddy.
Because it's obvious that this is Jason versus Carrie.
I'm getting there.
Let her talk. Jeez, Jenny, stop interrupting her.
Get on my fucking thought train, goddammit.
Okay.
You missed the last call. There we go. Come on. Here we go. No, so negotiations fell through. Okay. And it took another 15 years before we got the Freddy versus Jason film.
Right.
Because this came out in 88 and 2003 is when we got Freddy versus Jason. So they were still hung up on the whole crossover, like who can we put up against Jason? And somebody got the great idea to have Carrie White go up against Jason. Although they could not get the rights to that either because... One, MGM would not negotiate.
And I imagine Stephen King would be like, hell no.
And two, Carrie White died both in the book and the movie, so it's not like you could have her go up against him anyway.
No.
So, enter... What the fuck was her name?
Tina! Not like that, though. I can't tell you how many times while watching this movie I kept going, Tina! Let me eat your brains!
That's actually one of the posters that we have up in the studio. It's right over here.
She'll put it on the screen here.
It's right behind Chucky. I know y'all can see Chucky on the screen, but it's right behind Chucky.
Sorry.
But yeah, so that's why this is the way it is, and why we have a metaphysical telekinetic that is taking on Jason.
It's something. So let's go ahead and dive headfirst into Crystal Lake. And find out. Somebody's in there too.
It's a little shallow in there.
Let's go ahead and jump on into Crystal Lake and find out how Mr. Jason slashes everybody up this time.
After a recap to the previous film, which I don't know if you know this, the guy that's narrating that recap.
Who is it?
It's Crazy Ralph.
A curse on Crystal Lake. A death curse.
No shit. Oh, I think I did know that. I read that somewhere.
It's the actor
that played Crazy Ralph in the first two films.
Not only that, in that recap montage, which is the first time we get it in a few films, they actually recycle footage from Jason Lives trailer. Specifically, like the tombstone blowing up and everything. They recycled trailer footage.
That's funny.
Trailer footage!
Who cares? This movie's fucking nuts anyway, so why not recycle trailer footage? Jesus.
Anyway, just in case you came to the 7th movie without watching all the other ones, or you just simply forgot, it's not like they haven't been cranking them out one every year.
Yeah, so they have to give a recap, because that's what we do in these movies. We start our film on Tina Shepard, a young girl who is witnessing her father physically abusing her mother, and that man's clearly an alcoholic.
Oh, he's clearly got something wrong.
Yeah, something.
Please don't drink anymore!
Don't tell me what to do!
As she leaves her home to escape the fighting, she goes out to Crystal Lake in a boat. Her dad following after her, and apparently Jason was already in the lake at that point.
Yeah.
Which then takes this time frame.
Yeah.
So this is actually like 1999.
Because she's like 7 in the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah, so
it's like 10 years later?
Yeah, this would actually put the series of events of this film in like late 90s.
Yeah, like 10 years after the last
right.
film.
But then in the very next film, which we'll get to in a few weeks,
it's one of my favorites.
It blatantly states that it's like 89.
Well, yeah.
Blatantly states that it's 89. It's like the class of 89.
Yeah. Yeah. This timeline's kind of silly.
Please, for the love of fucking Christ, continuity.
Yeah, because like the first 2 films, or okay, like the first film happens, and then like the second 2 films is like second 2 films are within
2, 3, and 4
are all within like 3 days, right?
Within like 2 weeks at minimum.
Okay.
At max 2 weeks.
Right.
But 2 takes place 5 years after the first.
Right.
Because it's 5 years later that Christie's are trying to open up the lake. Mm-hmm. Sorry, we're going through this all over again.
We're giving you guys a quick little timeline because we're talking about timelines.
Right, because this does not make sense. This is supposed to be in the fucking 90s, but the next one is 89, and...
Yeah, because Jason wasn't there when she was little, and
No, she was. He was. He was in that lake.
Either Jason wasn't there when she was little, or...
in the interim, but according to the producers... Jason was in that lake already when she killed her father, which is what is about to happen.
Yes. Yeah, sorry to ruin the thing for you, but as her dad gets onto the boat dock, she uses her telekinetic powers to destroy the dock, and her dad drowns.
I hate you! I wish you were dead!
There you go.
Yep. Years later, and yes, we do mean years later,
like 10 years later.
At least 10. Yeah. At least 10.
She's like a senior in high school, probably.
She's supposed to be 17, however, and this is like another little nod to Carrie, the actress was 25.
Ah, yes.
She was 25 years old, playing a 17-year-old, just like Sissy Spacek in Carrie.
Alright. I see what you're doing here.
She is still struggling with the guilt surrounding her father's death, because of course she feels responsible.
I mean...
You're a child. You can't control that shit.
And he fucking deserved it.
I don't know that he deserved to die.
Maybe didn't deserve to die, but he deserved to get a lesson for sure.
Yes, I agree with that.
Her mother, Amanda, and her psychiatrist, Dr. Cruz.
Bad news, Cruz.
Do you know who Dr. Cruz is?
Oh, that'd be Bernie.
Or...
I mean, he's also the doctor in Tina and the T-Rex.
I don't know about that.
That's a messed up movie, too.
But he's in The Art of Dying music video.
Oh, yes, he is! I forgot.
He's their new lawyer.
He's their new lawyer, yeah. Oh,
he's Ice Nine Kills' lawyer, not Spencer's lawyer.
Right, because Spencer's not there.
Right, well, whatever.
Anyway. So, Dr. Cruz, and Amanda, Tina's mom, take Tina back to the same lakeside house where she killed her father for treatment.
Mm-hmm. He begins a series of experiments where he basically just yells at Tina and tries to piss her off in order for her to move a matchbook.
Yeah. He's trying to get her upset to use her telekinetic powers.
Right, and apparently, as we find out later in the film, this isn't the first patient he's tried to do this with.
No, he has ulterior motives. Mm-hmm. After a particularly upsetting session with Dr. Cruz, Tina runs out of the cabin and onto the boat dock.
While there, on the boat dock, she begins to think about her dad and wishes for him to come back.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could bring you back.
She wished for him to die. Now she's wishing for him to come back. I mean, I will be honest.
First off, her father would not still be there.
No.
The only reason
would have pulled his
the
body
only
out.
reason Jason is there is because nobody fucking knows he's there.
Supposedly don't know he's there.
Well, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy is.
All the kids
Yeah.
from camp
Right.
15 years ago or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, the only reason why Jason's still there is because nobody knows he's there. But yeah, her dad was removed from that water.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So I don't know why she thought she was going to be calling her dad back without his body there, but anyways, deep down, chained underneath the water of Crystal Lake is Jason. And what do her powers do? Well, they awaken Jason.
Snap the chain from around his neck.
Kind of feels like Nosferatu when she starts calling for him and brings back this grave. Anyways.
Only in the new one.
Yeah.
Only in the new one.
That's true.
Because in the original and even in Dracula, that's not how it worked.
I know.
Dracula's the source material.
Anyway, so Jason comes up from the water for some good old slashing up fun.
Yeah, originally they actually wanted C.J. Graham to come back.
Really?
The producers did, but the director, cannot remember his name, hang on a second, John Carl Bussier, was adamant that Kane should be the new Jason.
Okay. I mean, I'm glad. I love him as Jason. He gives him just enough character. Like, C.J. Graham is great.
No, C.J. Graham was the great Jason.
He, like, body-wise, you had everything right. The way he walked was very intimidating. It was good.
The thing that Kane does as Jason, and I wish that other actors would have done the same thing, is the...
Yeah. I feel like he just, like, adds a little bit more personality to him. Yeah, that's it. And Jason doesn't have a whole lot of personality.
I'm telling you, he's fucking shallow.
Yep.
Shallow. Yep. Next door to the Shepard residence. Oh, this is a rehashing of 4, isn't it?
It sure is.
We have a group of teens who are throwing a surprise birthday party for their friend Michael because we can't have a Jason movie without plenty of disposable teens.
That's right. We could go through the list of all their names, but I think we could just.
They're just fucking knife fodder anyway.
Exactly.
The only one that's really important is the boyfriend.
Yeah,
thing.
which like his name's what? Like Nick, right?
Nick. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Michael's the birthday boy.
Right. Michael's the birthday boy. Nick's the one who ends up like hanging out with Tina.
And honestly, the vast majority of the girls that are in there are fucking shallow as hell. Anyway.
Yes.
Like
I mean, they're
like
really
I
just,
said. The waters of Crystal Lake, very fucking shallow.
Yeah.
You dive in, you're gonna crack your skull.
Excuse me, I just inhaled my own throat. I don't know how I do that, but
very carefully or wrongly.
Yeah, exactly. What I was gonna say is that like they give every character a very distinct personality trait.
Yeah.
Which is, it's kind of, I mean, they didn't really do that before with the teenagers.
No.
But it's definitely something that Nightmare on Elm Street has always done, like, given very distinct
with the exception of 4 and 5.
Yeah.
They were the same.
Yeah, they were the same. Yes, they were exactly the same.
But
yeah, at this point, let's just see some crazy shit that Jason's about to do. We'll tell you their names as we go along, but their names don't even matter.
Not really. One of the guys, Nick, who has arrived...
He does matter.
Yeah. Has arrived just for the party, becomes attracted to Tina, which isn't appreciated by one of the other girls, Melissa. This is the most vapid, shallow fucking person that you could possibly run into.
She's awful. Like, through the whole movie, too. Ugh. I mean, not that she's in it that much, but every time she's on screen, she's... Melissa attempts to break up Nick and Tina because she's awful. Even going so far as to try and kiss another one of the guys, Eddie.
Eddie, who is a science fiction writer.
Yeah, science fiction
The only
writer.
person in the entire fucking cast that we would probably actually get along with.
I know, right? And I think there's a stoner, too. I'd probably get along with him.
Yeah.
Sup?
There she goes, trying to go method again.
Sorry. Anyways, she goes even so far as to kiss Eddie in front of Nick, trying to make Nick jealous, which is fucking stupid.
Well, actually, she attempts to sleep with Eddie, and she's like, "I'm sorry, this isn't working
This isn't
out."
gonna work. Sorry. This isn't what I really wanted.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and then, of course, Eddie leaves feeling shitty because he's being used.
I mean, yeah. Eddie very much reminds me of Kristen Gilliver's character.
For sure.
Tina tells Nick about Jason and has a vision of him murdering Michael. In fact, she has numerous visions throughout this film of Jason murdering various different characters.
Yep, and then they get murdered.
Relatively shortly after that.
Yep. Meanwhile, Jason kills Michael and his girlfriend Jane by stabbing her in the head with a fucking tent spike. Doesn't he fucking smash Michael's brain? Or is that somebody else? No, that's one of the other campers.
Somebody else.
But yeah, I mean, like, he literally, like, sticks a tent pole through Judy or Jane or whatever.
Through her throat, pins her to a tree, and then he grabs it out of her throat and chases down Michael.
Yeah.
He dies off screen.
Well, a lot of people kind of die off screen in this movie. Because the MPAA... as we kept getting deeper into the...
Sorry, they graped this.
They sure did.
They graped the fuck out of this. 7 or 10, I think it was 10 resubmissions to the MPAA.
And they
which
just
is
kept
now
making
just
them
the
cut all the blood out.
All the blood, all
the
gore.
kills, like, everything was off screen, it's all implied. Which, like...
Vast majority of it's implied. There are certain deaths that do happen in frame.
Right, but the thing about implied deaths is that if it's...
Done
if you're
right.
filming it that way...
If it's done right, though, it's more effective.
Right, and if you're filming it with the intent of, this is going to not show a lot, then it's going to be more effective. When you're having to not show anything that you've already filmed, and you're cutting all your shit off...
Then it muddies the waters.
It does. Yeah.
He then finds Dan and Judy, another couple camping in the woods. Dan has his spine basically ripped out.
Yeah, he, like rips into his, like, center cavity and just like...
Got your back, bro!
Yeah. But then he takes Judy, still in her sleeping bag, and fucking whaps that bitch right against a tree.
So...
becoming one of the most iconic kills in the franchise.
That gets revisited in Jason X.
And, I think it's revisited again, isn't it? In, the remake. They do it in
the
remake.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, Kane was getting very pissed.
Oh.
With this scene, because apparently the, fake body that they had in there...
Yeah. Was it heavy?
Was heavier, and he kept trying to swing as hard as he could. And the blood pack would not break. So, and this is actually in the film.
Yeah.
He, like, throws the sleeping bag down on the ground and kicks the sleeping bag. That was literally Kane.
Like
being fucking just frustrated that the thing was not going the way it was supposed to go.
That's great.
And by the way, Kane Hodder did all of his own stunts in this
because
film.
He is a stuntman. That is what he did for... years and years and years before actually being on screen.
That will come into play later in this film.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, he whacks her against the tree and kills her.
Right. When Tina goes off with Nick to find Amanda, Jason proceeds to kill the other teens one by one.
Yep.
Because knife fodder.
Yes, exactly. That's all these people are. So, Russell and Sandra are... a new couple. They go for a swim in the lake, and Sandra goes skinny dipping.
But she doesn't die first.
No, Russell gets killed with an axe to his face.
And they actually had a second person playing him on the ground.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I'm glad that Hallie likes this movie more than I do.
It's not the fact that I necessarily like it more. I just, when we watch these films, when I watch them at least, I'm reading the shit out of trivia.
Yep.
And this is why I am delivering all this stuff to you. So you don't have to.
Yes.
Or at least you don't need to.
Yeah, because we can just tell it to you. You don't have to sit there scrolling on your phone or looking it up on your computer or whatever. We've already done that for you.
Sandra does discover, what is it? Russell?
Yeah.
See, I don't even give a fuck about these characters'
Who cares
names.
about these people?
It discovers his body just before her ass is pulled underneath the water because apparently Jason's gotten over his fear of swimming.
Well, and he teleported there too.
Yeah.
Bloop. Weird. Bloop. He teleports a lot in this movie.
Not as bad as...
Not as bad as, what, 4?
Yeah, 4 was terrible.
He was, like, back and forth between the two houses very quickly.
Inside and outside within, like, seconds. Seconds!
Maddie, another teenager, goes to look for David. Who the fuck is David? But finds Russell's body, and she goes to run for help, but then Jason attacks her in the nearby barn and slices her stomach open with a sickle.
Yeah, David was the stoner that you referenced earlier.
Ah, yes. Who the fuck is David? That's my guy. But I've already forgotten who each of them are anyways. It's like... It's gone.
Yeah, pothead you.
Oops.
Jason then kills Ben. Who the fuck's Ben?
Exactly. You're
crush-
making fun of me. Fucking pothead. Okay. You don't know who Ben is. Who's Ben?
Who wrote this fucking
I
script?
did write the script.
Pothead. I stand by my statement.
Oh, this is the guy that get his head with his crushed with his bare hands. Yeah.
There's
lots of great kills in this movie.
As she just pointed out, he does get his hair
line again.
crushed by Jason with his bare hands, and then Kate by driving a party horn into her eye. Oh, that's right. They were the black couple.
The black couple that was in the RV or whatever.
Was it her eye? I thought it sounded like it went down her fucking throat and choked her with it.
So they don't show it because they couldn't show it.
Right.
He was doing
so
on
I
the
just
screen,
always assumed that it was down her throat.
But they do show her later with it out of her eye.
Okay.
Yeah. So it definitely is in her eye.
They were busy getting it on in the van. They broke the rules. Now they gotta die.
They gotta die. Inside the house. Exactly. Inside the house, Jason stabs David and then slices Eddie's neck open. So, sorry guys. Y'all are fucked up too. You go.
Upstairs, Robin finds David's severed head and is grabbed by the throat and thrown out a window to her death.
Literally, which is just like picks her up and just...
Which is clearly a nod. Sorry. Words are hard. But it's clearly a nod to that death scene in Chapter 4, Final Friday or whatever, where the girl lands on the car.
Yeah.
Because this death, the way she lands, in the capacity in which she lands, would not necessarily kill her.
Probably not.
Medically,
she
it
just
would not
lands
kill
on
her.
the ground.
Yeah. Broken legs? Yes. Death?
Probably
so
not.
much.
She'd be hurting.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
For certain. Like Tim Burton's curtains.
There is just, like, a lot... This one. There is a lot of kills just, like, really quickly, and not a single one of them is very bloody, as we've mentioned. Because, as we said before, the MPAA just
laid into it.
They had been going hard on the Friday movies since the beginning.
Because of the nudity, because of the gore, and all that other stuff.
But as they got farther and farther into the franchise, it was like they were just getting harder and harder and harder on
Well, yeah, the next one, they actually, behind the scenes, because they couldn't show anything, they referred to it as the Jason with no blood.
Yeah.
You know, which is... that's...
I mean, I guess when you're going into it knowing you can't show a whole lot of blood, then you can save yourself a whole lot of money on effects and stuff when you know the MPAA is going to cut it all out anyways. So you come up with ways to make it work, I guess.
Yeah, by dunking someone's head in a dumpster. That's the next one, though.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Dr. Cruz, yes, it's been a while since we checked in with him.
Yeah, let's check in with that guy.
And Tina's mom are looking for Tina in the woods. I believe this is where Amanda finds the tent spike and the tapes and everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, they pretty much, like, find just a bunch of dead kids in the woods.
Well, no, I mean, like,
multiple dead kids. This is when she finds out about him being
about his ulterior motives.
Yeah.
Keeping Tina's trauma and stress levels high, I am confident I can induce huge psychokinetic reactions.
Because apparently he's been trying to coerce these impressionable, institutionalized children who have developed and display these type of abilities since, like, 65.
Mm-hmm.
You bastard.
And he's been exploiting them all.
All of them. Tina's just the next one on the line.
Yep. Yeah. Jason finds them, and Dr. Cruz saves himself by shoving Amanda in front of him and using her as a fucking human shield.
Meat shield. We call those meat shields.
Yeah, yeah. But Jason does eventually kill him with a weed whacker.
Not the weed
Not the weed whacker!
Not the weed hacker!
So, but this is the only time that Jason uses
A power tool.
A power tool, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because a lot of depictions of, like, Jason-esque characters, specifically, I know Simpsons has done it.
Yeah. They
Homer
give him
busts.
chainsaws.
Yeah, Homer busts into Bart's room at one point with a hockey mask on, wielding a chainsaw, and scares the shit out of Bart. And it's Jason never killed anybody. The only thing I can think of is the last. No. 4. Can't remember the girl's name. But she used the chainsaw against Jason.
Against Jason, yes.
And that's the only thing that I can think of is where that whole like notion of Jason using a chainsaw on anybody has stemmed from.
Yeah, but he never picked it up.
No, he never picked it up.
Anyways.
Tina finds her mom's body shortly afterward and uses her powers to electrocute Jason and crash part of this house down onto him.
Yeah.
Basically the front porch.
Yeah, it just comes crashing down on top of him.
Again, Kane Hodder stood there and took the fall of that porch roof on top of him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did. And then Nick and Tina try to tell Melissa about what happened. This is the bitch from the beginning with the bright blonde hair, little blonde bob or whatever.
Yeah, blonde bob.
She thinks they're crazy and tries to leave.
Well,
but,
she knows Tina's crazy.
Yeah, well,
she knows
yes,
that.
Of course. Put her in an institution or something. And she tries to leave, but, Jason takes that axe and put it in her face. Right in the face.
Buried it.
Buried it.
Hey, come here, Melissa. Let's bury the hatchet. Nick tries to fight off Jason, but he is quickly subdued because when you are fighting zombie Jason, you're not going to win. Unless you're Tina and you have powers.
Good look at zombie Jason in a little bit here, too.
Yeah.
Tina unleashes her powers, breaking Jason's mask.
Before Jason can crush Nick's spine.
Right. Yeah, but he somehow survives.
Yeah, because I'm guessing, I don't know, the frustration of the mask like suffocating his brain stopped him long enough to stop from stomping on Nick. I don't know. As the battle rages on, Tina destroys the lakeside cabin I'm sorry, I have to go into this because there are some more details. There are some stunts here that could have gone very, very wrong.
Oh yeah, and if you didn't have Kane Hodder as the person doing the stunts, this could have gone really wrong.
Honestly, even with Kane doing it, there's a scene where she brings down like this swinging light, or it's a hanging light in the hallway, and it smashes Jason in the face. This is before she rips the mask off him, and he goes backwards and falls through the steps. Right?
Yeah.
There's about that much space between the fake steps and the real step that Kane's head missed.
Wow.
So he was that close to literally either knocking himself out, killing himself,
dying,
or whatever.
Horribly injuring himself.
So that is impressive in and of itself. But then, after she rips the mask off him, she also breaks another light, brings down the cord from it, strangles him, hangs him, rips open the floor, then drops him into the basement. But before she can get to Nick, he grabs her and pulls her down into the basement.
Yep.
Which I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck he got up there, because that's at least the 8-foot jump. I mean, Kane's a big boy, Jason's a big boy, but that's a big boy jump.
Yeah, well, we know he can
apparently teleport. Yeah, right.
Teleport. So
whatever. But before they exit the house, before everything is said and done with Jason in the house, she coats him in gasoline or kerosene or something like that. And this is also very impressive in and of itself, because not only was it the longest controlled burn laid to film at the time, I think it still is. The only other, it was just a stunt performer that did it. And like not in film, but this is like in an actual film. So 40-second burn. 40-second burn that ignites in frame.
Mm-hmm.
You never see the ignition happen
No.
in frame. And this happened in frame. And Kane did a 40-second controlled burn on his body for this. Which is...
That's insane.
Fucking nuts.
Insane.
It is nuts to think that anybody could withstand that fire for 40 seconds.
Burned very badly before, too.
Mm-hmm.
In
Which is why he doesn't
like
want to do it.
Scarred
But, yeah, like both arms scarred very badly. He doesn't like to do it, but he knows what can go wrong.
And he knows what can go right if he does it correctly.
Mm-hmm. Which he did it correctly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we get one of the coolest on-fire burns in cinema.
Yeah. Agreed.
The only
Agreed.
The only other one.
Too bad it's in such a shitty film.
Yeah. Well, you know, it has its merits.
It does.
It has its merits.
It does.
As the battle rages on, though, after she ignites Jason and all this other stuff, she destroys the entire lakeside cabin in an explosive fire, and the attack continues out onto the dock. Because this is zombie Jason.
Yeah, he don't die.
He ain't dying.
He ain't going nowhere.
Not yet.
We see Tina using her powers to subdue Jason. Then she uses her powers to resurrect the spirit, because, like we said earlier, her dead body couldn't be there.
Right. There's a lot of fans that suggest that it's not necessarily like her resurrecting her father, but it's her manifesting her powers in a physical form to subdue Jason.
Okay.
And putting that physical form as her father, which is because they initially wanted him to be just as decomposed as Jason was.
Which that wouldn't make any sense.
No, it would make sense if he was underneath the water the entire time.
But he wasn't.
But no. Well, this is why. He wasn't under the water the entire time, so they just said, throw some mud on him. That's good enough. And that's what they did.
Works for me.
So he comes up out of the dock and drags Jason down and wraps the chain back around his neck, and there we go.
Yep. He ends the film the same way he started the film and the same way he ended the film last time.
Mm-hmm.
The following morning, Sarah, I can't say words either.
Yeah.
Words are hard.
My favorite color Band-Aid!
The following morning, Tina and Nick are taken away by ambulance. Because Nick survived.
Yeah, and this is actually one of the rare instances of a Friday the 13th film actually ending on a positive note.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times there's like a quick, open the eye or something, indicating that Jason's coming back.
Breathing.
Yeah, because breathing underwater is plausible, right?
Yeah, or there's the little kind of whispers in the background, but that's also probably just sound effects.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know. But we all know he's not going anywhere.
Well, not yet. A firefighter finds Jason's broken mask in the wreckage, and the screen fades to black as Jason's whispers can be heard in the distance, as we were just talking about. And that is the new blood.
It sure is. Sure is. And then things are going to get real crazy after this, you guys. So,
yeah, because we go out of the
we're
lake
leaving
setting
the lake
completely
and into
moving
a big
to
city.
Vancouver. New York City. Vancouver. New York. It's Vancouver.
Okay, but they did film a few seconds in Times Square
As stock footage, pretty much.
Right.
But yeah. It's Jason Takes Manhattan is the next one in this series.
Yes,
but
not the next one we're doing next.
No, not the next one.
This for me, I have a hard time getting it a bloody machete down.
For me, it is going to be a bloody machete up, just because of the stunt coordination team, the effects that they did, and Kane Hodder's performance of Jason.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's hard for me to give it a bloody machete down because it has its merits.
It has its merits.
It's not awful. It's not the worst one in the series.
It's not 5.
It's not the best either. So I'll give it a bloody machete up. A reluctant bloody machete up.
2 limp machetes.
Limp machetes!
And with that, we are going to send the new blood back to Camp Crystal Lake and get that shit the fuck out of there. Again, Kane, thank you.
We love you.
Yeah, you deserve so much better in your initial performance of Jason. Mm-hmm. Seriously.
So, we gave these a bloody machete down.
You mean this, a bloody machete?
Yeah, this.
No, we gave it up.
Oh, did we? Yeah, it was left enough. It was a limp.
Wow.
God, I can't even think for 5 seconds.
I'm telling you, y'all.
It's been a
She
long
needs
day,
to
you
get
guys.
off.
I think I got like 4 hours of sleep last night.
Yeah, sure. Sleep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm dead. That's what you told me to do. That too. No, I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh, next week. We should talk about next week.
We should talk about next week because, my God.
Why are we doing this to ourselves? 2 bad ones in a row?
3.
I know.
3. Come back here next week when we dive into the next installment in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise.
Because
That's right.
we're not going to stop. It's the year of sequels. We got to get through these things.
Next generation, y'all. 1994 or 5 or 6, depending on the source material.
Yeah, and also called The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and also called Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever you want to call it, in this fucked up, stupid, weird-ass timeline, and this one's super fucked up and stupid and weird. But yeah, come back next week when we dive into this one, because we've got things to say. I've got things to say.
Illuminati. Break out the foil hats, y'all.
Yes. So join us next week, and until then, make sure you slash the subscribe button,
Stab that like button,
and ring-a-ling the grave bell so you don't get buried alive, and you stay up to date on all the crazy shit we're doing on this channel. And until next time, we will see you all
in the afterlife.